So the name of this course is called Simple Development with jQuery Mobile. And by simple, I mean you're going to be amazed when you find that all you need to know to work with jQuery Mobile is your existing stack of technologies with HTML, CSS, and believe it or not, you can build an entire jQuery Mobile-based website or template without ever writing a speck of JavaScript. That's how amazing it is. It works around the concept of adding classes and custom attributes to your existing markup. And over the course of this series, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So by the end of this course, I guarantee you're going to think, wow, that really was simple. So jQuery Mobile refers to themselves as the touch-optimized framework for phones. So what separates jQuery Mobile from other platforms, for example, from developing natively for, say, the iPhone or using a third-party service like AppCelerator or Titanium? There's a handful of differences. One, jQuery Mobile is based on the web stack. You're using HTML and CSS technologies to build mobile-based apps. So this is very different from, for instance, developing natively for the iPhone, in which case you need to learn an entire language and it's exclusive to that platform. For example, that's why other third-party solutions like Titanium came around, because they too allow you to use JavaScript to build apps. But what they do differently from jQuery Mobile is that your JavaScript is then compiled into a native iPhone app. So for instance, I could build an app with Titanium and then it would be compiled as a native iPhone app and I could sell that on the marketplace. Now, jQuery Mobile, on the other hand, as I noted, is all HTML and CSS. You don't need to learn anything else. And even better, it's going to work on the huge plethora of modern phones. So this is going to include not just the iPhone, which many kind of frameworks and libraries focus exclusive on iPhone mobile frameworks. But with jQuery Mobile, you're going to get Windows 7, iPhone, everything you can imagine as long as it's a modern phone, BlackBerry and such. Now, in addition to that, you get a wide array of presentations. For example, in the phones that allow for swiping, you can use those within jQuery Mobile, but there's going to be a graceful degradation for older phones. So in addition to the cross-phone support, jQuery Mobile is really easily themable, and they allow for this thanks to jQuery's theme roller. So, for instance, simply by applying a custom attribute to your element, you can set a very specific visual layout for your templates with literally 1 or 2 seconds worth of work. Next, jQuery Mobile takes advantage of the latest in HTML5 and CSS3. So this is going to include everything from transitions and transformations to the new doc type, which everyone can use, as well as the new HTML5 elements. And then lastly, that we're going to go over here, it's Google hosted. So that means you can reference the jQuery Mobile JavaScript file as well as the style sheet all via Google. What this means is free bandwidth and fast bandwidth that you don't have to worry about. And then the last thing is it comes in minified and gzipped around 12 to 13K, so its footprint is almost invisible. So you can see the advantages far outweigh the disadvantages. The only disadvantage is you don't end up with the native app. But the advantage to that is you're not exclusive to one phone. It'll work on a wide array of phones, and you still get that functionality that you would get otherwise. So with that out of the way, if you're like me, I'm not a huge fan of presentations. I want to see the author get into the code, and that's what we're going to do for the rest of this entire course. So if you hate presentations, 2 pages was it. Now we're going to get into it in the next lesson.